knock these back. Well, cheers, queers.
The L Word Generation Q dove into new territory this week in the form of a musical. And whether you loved it or hated it, there certainly is a lot to say. We're going to be going over everything and also talking about, of course, the returning OG that was in this episode. We're going to talk about all the big storyline shifts at the end of this episode and also those passive-aggressive remarks to the audience about our one and only Gigi Gorbani. So let's get into it.
I'm having a really culty year.
I wanted to put this at the top of the episode, but just a little reminder that we only have 2 episodes left until Bette and Tina are back, and we also only have 1 trailer until we get a trailer for Bette and Tina at the end of episode 8. So hang in there. Anyway, let's talk about the musical, episode 306, Questions for the Universe. I'm going to break this down as I do with characters, but I'm only going to do it Alice, Shane, and Sophie, since they were really the only people that had like prominent storylines this episode. I'm going to start out with Shane.
Regardless, no, Al. Count me out.
You know what they say? They say it's like 10 years of therapy, but in one night. And you could use the 10. I mean, 20, but...
Basically, the start of the episode, the Shane and Alice stuff, I fucking loved it. Where has this been this season? Why are we only having these scenes like every 4 episodes? These are the people that the majority of us are here for. They have great chemistry. They're great actors. The comedic timing, everything. Like, have more of fucking this. This is what we want to see. I loved all of like Alice coming home and Shane's literally blowing shit up in her house, them going to the retreat and Alice is like, oh, I'm having a culty year. These little things too, where they're doing like those callbacks, which they did a lot in this episode, that makes your audience feel seen. Do that. So Shane lands herself in a very like 40s League of Their Own musical, and I don't know whether, I'm sure most people caught this, when they're actually transitioning into the musical. So at the beginning, when it goes white and the 3 of them are dancing together, Shane, Alice, and Sophie, and at the end when they're like coming out of it and dancing together, the aspect ratio actually shifts for the musical part of the episode. So I thought that was like a cool, like nice little nod. I think Buffy did the same thing with their musical episode. So Shane is basically with Tess pretty much all of her musical, chasing after Tess. She's like a sailor and Tess is a singer. The one thing I will say, and I'm gonna take some credit here, is that the week that episode 2 came out, and basically since then I've been bitching about the lighting and the hair and face. The kisses were perfect in this episode. Well, maybe not perfect, but they had lighting, you know, you could see everything. It was very, as Jennifer Beals says about on-screen kisses, like you're making a picture. And I looked back in my messages, and the week that I started complaining about the episode 1 and 2 kisses, which was like basically the weekend that episode 2 came out, I got a message from the showrunner saying that week was when they were doing the edit for this episode. So hopefully they're taking our criticism on board, because there is, you know, some other things that we've been mentioning. So fingers crossed for that kiss and freezer scene in episode 9 and 10. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my other videos, especially if you're a Bette and Tina fan. I'll leave them linked above and down below. And make sure you're subscribed so you're not missing out on any content about upcoming awesome scenes.
I'm throwing these. If someone calls for them, they're in the trash.
Oh, those were Bridget's.
Oh, you know their names now? Okay.
So Shane also has this, running around after Tess, and there was this moment that I was thinking like, oh, maybe this is like a real life call to like L Word fans, because Shane is like running to find Tess, and there's like this group of women running after her that are like, Shane, Shane, Shane. And she was like, oh, they always find me. I was like, oh, that could be real life L Word fans. I'm joking. But the rest, I mean, Shane's was just the sailor stuff. There wasn't anything like enormous that was happening. And then, of course, at the very end of the episode, there's a little bit of a shift. She goes to Tess, but I'll talk about that at the very end. I should have said this at the beginning, but all three of them, Alice, Sophie, and Shane, all ask a question of the universe. And Shane's was, why do I always blow shit up? So I just wanted to mention that, because transitioning into Sophie's question was, is Finley the right one for me? And I mean, I think actually the answer is none of us really care, but probably no, so we can get them off the screen. But Sophie, I mean, damn, Rosanny Zayas can sing. She was amazing in this episode. I mean, she really nailed it. There wasn't a huge amount going on. It was kind of an easy week, I think, for Dani and Micah and stuff, because they really were only in a very small part of the episode. We did have that Finley and Dani kiss, which was like totally random. So it didn't really mean anything, which obviously we didn't think it was. It was taking place in like a drug fueled craziness. But Finley and Sophie, we know it's not working, and Sophie really is feeling like, I'm assuming that Finley is taking up a lot of just space when it comes to the relationship, or even just going through their day-to-day lives. So again, we see something happen at the end, which I'll talk about at the very end.
Are you okay?
I'm great.
Now, Alice's question for the universe was, will I find the one? And we do see Alice's the one in this episode, or Alice thinks is the one. And of course, that is Dana Fairbanks. Aaron Daniels returned in this episode.
Oh my God. Is it really you?
Who else would it be?
But you're old.
You're old too, Al.
I was pleasantly surprised that she was in the majority of the episode. I thought she would only be in like, a little scene or something like that. But they pretty much the whole time that Alice was in this thing, that they had Aaron Daniels in the episode, and they did 2 songs, and they were really well done. And of course, like, Leisha's amazing singer, and I loved the cat's call, and everything like that was really, really great. They did a fantastic job with this. They did a really fantastic job with this. And then they have Alice, of course, asking Dana, about the one, and if there's someone out there. And Dana's telling her like, oh, there is a one out there for you, and that you knew them before. So that causes Alice to be like, when she comes out of the retreat, she's thinking that it's an ex or something. So we do see Alice at the very end going through one of her boxes, and I'm going to talk about Shane and Tess and Sophie and Finley first, and then I'll tie up with that Alice ending. So after the retreat, Shane goes over to Tess's and is saying like, oh, I want to, try again. I want to earn your trust back. And then Tess reveals that her mom has passed away.
My mom died.
I did say this is what I thought was going to happen. This was going to be how they tried to like bridge them back together. I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like the Shane and Tess relationship now, we just don't even know what's really gone on, because yes, we needed to do the time jump for Bette and Tina, but it kind of like fucked over like everybody else, because Shane and Tess, like, we don't know what really it was like in their relationship, because at the end of season 2 they've been going out like 2 weeks, and we don't know at what point like Shane became unhappy. They do mention, this is just random, that Kaylani has moved, or Ivy has moved to New York. And I just say, please, for the love of fucking God, can somebody just pay fucking attention to the timeline? Because Ivy was in episode 4, which was Halloween. We know episode 8 is Thanksgiving. So there can only be like not even a week going by in episodes 5, 6, and 7, because there's only 3 weeks between Halloween and Thanksgiving. So maybe 3 weeks and a few days. But do you know what I mean? Like literally in the course of 9 days, Ivy has gotten a job and moved to New York, and it's been enough time that Alice is like, oh yeah, did she not tell you? Like, she's obviously moved, unpacked there, working another job. Please, I'm begging you. Think of a season arc and map it out on a timeline. Those are the 2 things that I ask for. And if I'm going to throw in a third, some group scenes, please. Otherwise, let me come and do it, because obviously nobody's been able to do it for 3 fucking years. So anyway, on to Sophie and Finley. And Sophie and Finley break up at the end of this episode. I've said for months that I thought this was going to happen, that I don't think anyone who was together in season 2 will be together by the end of season 3. So we're gonna see next week, obviously, Fletcher's release party. It looks like Sophie is with Dre for a bit, so I don't know whether that's gonna go anywhere or whether she's gonna go with someone else. I do know there's something coming up for her, so we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. So Alice, the ending with Alice, oh my God, when she opened the box and the sunshine little flower thing was there, oh God, right in the heart. I did love this, and this is what I mean by like, you are capable of this, Gen Q. You choose not to do this, and I don't know why. Just please lean into it. The things like this where it's like calling back to the OG, you don't have to make some literal song and dance about it, but just little moments like that again makes the audience feel seen, feel heard. And we do have Alice taking like the book out of the box, and Dana had said, oh, this person, the one knows Dana in a way. So I think Alice is thinking like, oh, Tom helped me with my book, so my book's all about Dana. So I don't know where they're going with this. I mean, we know that Tom is coming back next episode. I don't see Tom being there for more than 1 episode or sticking around. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see some other people come back. I've said I would love Tasha to come back, and that probably is the most realistic person, because who else is it gonna be? Like Gabby fucking DeVoe or something's gonna come back, or Tanya or Laura or something like that. So we'll have to wait and see. But my overall thoughts, I actually liked this episode. I didn't love it. It's not something that I'm gonna rewatch. I think that everybody did a great job. Like, pulling this off is amazing, but I still stand behind the fact that I don't think this should have been done, because this is done when you're a Grey's Anatomy or you're a Buffy and you're on like season 6 and you have 22 to 24 episodes a season that you need to fill. We got 10 episodes here. We should be absolutely cramming them with stories and characters, and to get to over halfway point and not have some storyline that's overarching the whole season. I mean, please tell me what people's storylines are this season, because I'd love to know. That there's nothing, and it's people are just flitting from one episode to another. Like, there wasn't even a previously on the L Word this episode, because it just so doesn't matter because it's literally taking place in the characters' heads, apart from like the last 5 minutes at the end. I would have really, really loved this to be like a rich character development episode as opposed to a musical. So I really hope that the next couple of episodes move us along a bit, but I am really fearful of the next episodes because next episode, episode 7, Shane's not in, and 8, Alice isn't in. So I'm blinkers on, getting ready for 9 and 10. That's what I'm living for at the moment because yeah, I want what I want. The OGs together and back and just having fun. The only other thing I forgot to mention was the Gigi thing. There was like a random line thrown in about Gigi.
Oh, that's complicated. Gigi. The answer is Gigi.
The answer is always Gigi.
I really felt like it was a bit of a dig because obviously we all, most of us love Gigi and want her back. And the fact that they're just like throwing this mention in, and the fact that they still to this day have not said shit about Gigi not being in the rest of the season, it's just infuriating, to be honest. It really, really is. So let me know what you thought of this episode. Overall, I'm not a musical person, so it wasn't something I was ever gonna like super love. I do think it was better than I thought it was gonna be though. I did love the Alice and Shane stuff at the start, and it was great to see Dana back again. But as I said, storylines, character development, season arc, comedy, group scenes, Bette and Tina, Gigi, those are the things I want. Hopefully they'll deliver those in the last 2 episodes, but I'm not holding my breath. So let me know what you guys think down below. Follow me here and on social media. And as always, make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.